This is the third chapter of our small journey to Greece. And while having a destination ahead of us, the feeling of being completely lost flooded my body. When I look at my creative life, I can see very clearly that there is a force that drives me to create, to be present. Through the years, I've managed to obtain a sort of a compass of intuition. Without understanding much how it works, I know it points me to this strong force of creativity. But quite often, I walk, distracted by pain, desire and fantasy, not realizing I have no idea where I am. And when I reach into my pocket, hoping for some help from my trustworthy compass, it's gone. And so I enter this void of feeling lost. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't believe that feeling lost means anything negative. In fact, it can be an opportunity to find what cannot be looked for, in corners and places that my mind and soul never placed foot on. Well, as it happens, we arrived in Crete. And although Crete is an island of a size that shouldn't be laughed at, there is a sense of isolation, one that accompanied my lack of place. Throughout the countless times that I've been lost on my journey, I noticed one thing: the lack of direction, not knowing what to do, always scared me. I was craving to be found, doing everything in my power to go back to where I was, running and running, not realizing I was going in circles that exhaust me, taking all my energy and mental power away. Only in the last few years, I started realizing a path, an inner road that requires no walking or running, no restless chasing. Instead, it needs patience and faith, which more often than not, I forget their enormous force. Sometimes, when you're lost, there's not much to do but to wait. And in this stillness, you can find small surprises. You find that moment of quiet you were looking for last year, how beautiful the world around us can be, that endless feeling of nature, the tranquility of the wind, the sky, the earth, the sea. You understand there's wisdom all around you, and all you need to do is observe, listen, and breathe in the lifestyle of that stillness around. I am surprised every time from the start how empowering this feeling is, this connection to nature, to this timeless breathing. We were born to a world that expects us to have a direction, to have that compass, to go somewhere. And from these expectations comes this fear of being lost. I guess it becomes obvious that the right way to do things is with a clear goal. And being lost, not knowing the way to that goal, is negative. But the way I see it these days is that being lost is actually a crucial part of the whole journey. It should be enjoyed. The sense of adventure that comes with it, the unknown that can be discovered. And in the end, dwelling in that lost void always leads me to find out that I had that compass on me all along. Being back on the mainland came with a calm feeling, with a realization that's been building up in me already for a while. This walking I was talking about in the beginning, that distraction which leads me to that lost void, it comes from one of my greatest tools, a tool that too many times becomes my reality. The tool I'm talking about is my brain. I've already talked about it in several of my previous videos, that problem I have with thinking and thinking, creating a whole world in my head based on what I feel and absorb. And when it comes to using my trusty compass, I let my brain take over, not even realizing it. And while I walk and walk, being sure I follow my compass, my brain shifts and twists the needle to its own will. Love becomes desire, sadness becomes pain, and that creative spark becomes a fantasy. Since I don't notice this manipulation, I stay there in that world, knowing it's all true, not doubting it even for a moment. Throughout my life, I've spent hours, days and months there, and it can be a lot of fun, a lot of excitement, but in the end, I always get thrown into that lost void, remembering all over again that the power of my compass comes from my heart, listening to its rhythm, being there with it, present, peaceful, connected to everything around me. This is that mysterious force that leads my way to that beautiful road of creating.